Howdy y'all, welcome back to Cattle Battle 101. I'm your host Kurt Todd, and I'm without Ozzy the Owl, but first person I saw turns out to be Miss Taylor McNair.
I'm so honored to take the place of Ozzy the Owl.
It's a very coveted place.
I mean, how lucky am I to be interviewing with you? I mean, I'm Taylor McNair, Miss Rodeo America, and I'm so excited to be on Cattle Battle 101.
Sweet. So, I finally talked to Miss McNair after a couple hours into coming on an interview with me. So, let's get started. Now, do you prefer Taylor or Miss McNair?
Taylor's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, we're friends like that.
Sweet, I'm friends with Miss Rodeo America. Alright, question one. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in a really small town called Learned. In Mississippi, our home state, of course, and I grew up on a farm. There wasn't much to do, so I picked up riding horses and stuck with it.
Cool. So, you ride horses. What events do you do in rodeo?
Growing up, I loved to barrel race. In high school rodeo, I did the pole bending, but I really enjoyed goat tying. So in college, I rodeoed with Mississippi State University, and I barrel raced and goat tied. And I was also on the equestrian team, so I was a horsemanship rider. Did the pattern and the slow stuff along with the fast stuff.
Oh, wow. Let me get you to write me a recommendation letter. Is Miss Neighbor still the coach?
She is, yeah. She's a good one.
Oh, yeah. So, you like goat tying. Is there any other events that are like your really good favorite?
You know, when I'm at a professional rodeo as Miss Rodeo America, I really enjoy watching the saddle bronc ride. That's rodeo's classic event. That's derived from cowboys and on ranches breaking horses. And so it really takes you back, and it's amazing the skill level that the cowboys have today, especially the Wright brothers out of Utah. It's crazy just how talented they are, staying in rhythm with those wild horses.
If I could be any cowboy, I'd either be Tough Hedeman or the Wright brothers, because I love saddle bronc riding.
Aren't they the coolest?
Oh, yeah. So in goat tying, are there any weird sayings that people have?
In goat tying? Well, I was often referred to as a nanny slammer in goat tying.
Nanny slammer.
Yeah. You've never heard that?
No. I mean, I know ride rank, mate bank, riding bulls a bunch of fools, but I've never heard of nanny slammer.
I mean, Del Brisby's got some great ones. I don't think he's ever said nanny slammer, but then again, I don't think he's the greatest in goat tying. He
Bull
just
riding
sticks to bull
definitely,
ride.
but not
yeah.
goat tying. All right, what's your favorite part about rodeo? Like, out of the whole event, what's the one part, like event or not, that's your absolute favorite?
It's kind of cliche, but the people. It's like a big family reunion everywhere I get somewhere. Like last night I got into Lauderdale and we had flag girl practice, and those flag girls were there last year, and so I knew them, I knew the rodeo committee, the announcer, flag director, even some of the guys that work in the back pit. It's truly like a family and a big family reunion every time we get to another rodeo.
All right, so a lot of young kids are kind of scared to get in rodeos. They don't know what it's all about. What's one piece of advice that you could give to the youth of rodeo?
I would say go for it. I was really shy growing up. I knew I always wanted to be a rodeo queen. But it wasn't until, I would say probably 5 years after the fact, that I knew I wanted to be a rodeo queen and I finally said something. So say something. In the sport of rodeo, we are all about showmanship, mentorship, and sportsmanship. So there's somebody out there that's willing to help you learn everything you need to know about a certain event, especially in Mississippi. We've got some great cowboys and cowgirls, so look for somebody and be willing to work hard, and you can achieve anything.
Love it, I love it, love it. All right, are there any myths that you've heard about rodeo that you want to bust on Cattle Battle 101?
Any myths? Well, I think so many people have the wrong perspective of rodeo, or they hear something and they just assume it's a fact. But I recommend anybody and everybody who's never been to a rodeo to go to a rodeo. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, because we want to make sure that you understand what's going on. Each rodeo has a set of rules and regulations for every event. The PRCA has over 80 rules set in place for the well-being and care for our rodeo athletes, our animals, I mean. So we do take care of our animals, and I wish people would see that, you know, a bucking bull, he only works 8 seconds per night, if that. Sometimes a cowboy doesn't even stay on that long, and he's getting premium hay, premium grain, and he works less than 5 minutes a year. That's a pretty good job, I would think.
Definitely. So, I know in bull riding, there's a lot of regulations that we get in a lot of trouble for. Our spurs can't be certain, like, they got to roll a little bit and they can't be too sharp and all that. What's regulation in goat time?
Goat tying, there's no nothing on spurs. You just have to tie 3 legs like you would in calf roping. Goat's got to stay tied for 6 seconds, and nothing that would harm the goat you could do to it.
I got you. Cool. All right, so we kind of done some serious talking. Now I want to give you the most serious question I think I've written on this paper. Okay. If you were a bird, what kind of bird would you be, and why? Let's give her a minute to think, because this is a very life-changing decision right here.
I honestly didn't think you would spring such a hard question on me, so
It's my one and only opportunity.
I
so I'm
hate to
sorry.
be really unprepared like this, but I don't know what the right name is. A cowbird or a egret, I guess they're called. You see them out in the swamps, or I see them amongst our cows in the pasture, and they're just always there. I wonder what they're thinking or what they're telling their friends, They've seen a lot of sights because they migrate in and out, so I would definitely be a cowbird. They get to hang with some pretty cool cows, and they probably get to see a lot of cool stuff too.
That is the most professional answer I've ever heard on that question. This time it's an eagle because it's America's bird, but that was amazing.
I mean, I do love America. I'm not gonna lie. I would be an eagle, but I don't know. I think a cowbird's a little different, and I'm a little different.
All right. What's your favorite song?
Favorite song? Wow. Well, I listen to all sorts of music. Of course, going down the rodeo trail, you get tired of listening to the same songs over and over and over. So.
Not a wide selection.
Right. I love Christian music. I love country music. I love pop music. Anything. I was in Rodeo, Houston, and one of the first weeks, Cardi B played. Love Cardi B. And at the end of the week, George Strait played. I mean, Rodeo Houston just has the best of both worlds. So I don't really know if I can narrow it down to one song. I've kind of been stuck on the Reboot album that Brooks and Dunn have done.
That was a good one.
With Casey Musgrave singing Neon Moon. That is perfection. I saw her live in concert sing it,
Really?
and it was even better than the soundtrack.
Sweet. Talking about Cardi B, can you do the little thing she does?
Okay.
Yes, I love it. All right, let's do it together. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. No, that was good. Did you practice?
I've been practicing for a while. It's taken me a couple months to do that. All right. So what's something interesting about you that a lot of people don't know?
Interesting about me. There's a lot. How long do we have? I'm pretty interesting. I have a cat, and her name's Sister. All my friends know about Sister. She can sit, shake, spin, high five, play dead, and she's learning how to read.
Is she about this big and can bark?
Nope.
I thought
She
you said
acts
my
like
dog.
it. Nope. She's about yay big. She's black and white. She just wandered up to the house one day, and I had some spare time, so I just taught her all these tricks, and she's really cool. I'm a hula hooping champion.
Hula hoop? Can you expound on that?
Okay, so one time I was at this barrel race, and during the middle of the barrel race, or it depends, every 200, every 300, they have what they call the big drag. So they take time up to really disc up the whole arena. And they had a hula hooping contest. And sadly, I had hit barrels all weekend, but when it came time for the hula hooping contest, I brought my A game and I won. So that was pretty cool. And a third one, so I just think you need 3. I've only held PRCA rodeo queen titles. So my entire life, I have been dedicated to the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association. Never held any high school queen titles or local titles, just PRCA.
PRCA is the circuit you need to join when you turn 18 to join rodeo.
That's right. Get your permit. Oldest and largest rodeo sanctioning body in the world. Hard to beat.
Oh yeah, definitely will. Okay. All right. So I came into class and she said she'd watched all my videos. We're about to see if she really did or not. What is your favorite video on Cattle Battle 101?
I really like the What's in My Gear Bag one. And I also like when you're talking about your boots.
Boots is
Apparently
funny
there's
stuff.
only one type of boots you can wear. They have to be square toe and they have to be brown.
Yes. Brown.
And I would like to add that they have to be Justin boots
Exactly,
because
Justin.
those are the absolute best. But
Definitely.
I'm glad I wore my brown squarish toe boots.
Okay. I do have a confession to make to all my followers on Cattle Battle 101. I'm not wearing Wranglers. And I knew I said you can only wear Wranglers or Cinch jeans, and I'm sorry, but I was in a rush this morning. I didn't get to throw on my Wranglers.
I'm a firm believer in Wrangler, but you got it on your shirt.
I got the shirt, but I ain't
And
got
I've
the
got all
jeans.
my Wranglers. I always have all my Wranglers. They're the best.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to beat Wrangler.
Really, really hard.
Wrangler Greeley hats, Wrangler shirts and jeans, Justin boots, and Montana Silversmith jewelry and buckles. You're set.
Yes. I will say I'm wearing a Corriente buckle right now, but you know, different rodeos, different blacksmiths. But that
This,
is Montana. The difference between a Montana, I'm in a Corriente and a Montana.
love Montana.
Sweet. Do you have any questions for me before we wrap it all up?
Yeah, for sure. How did you get involved in rodeo?
Ooh, that is a long, tragically funny story. So, my granddad used to fight bulls for Ralph back in the day, and I'd always wanted to be a cowboy. There's this movie, you know, the movie Spirit.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing, but I had this little like horse on a spring, and I'd watch that movie, and I'd jump on the horse, and make a buck. I watched that like 5 times a day, and finally, I was 15. I said, "Mom, I want to ride a bull." She's like, "Why don't we just go to Loverns?" I'm like, "What is Loverns?" She's like, "This place you can go ride a bull for $10." And I'm like, "Where has this been all my life?" So a year later, I finally got to do it, and I got on. My first bull's name was Clyde. He was about this tall. Now I'm still about the same height, but I got on. I took one jump, spun, landed on my back, and I got up and said, "Let's do it again." And it just kind of goes from there.
Love at first sight.
Oh yeah.
That's really good. And where you entered next?
I'm gonna try to get back into practice. I've had some shoulder injuries, but I'm gonna try to get some practice bulls, and then when I go to Mississippi State, I'm gonna join the rodeo team. Go in the August, the next August, Ralph Morgan Rodeo. You're gonna see me riding in it and take on all the bull riders' money. Unless Dale Risby says, then I can't do anything. But
Well, you heard it here. Good luck being a bulldog. You'll do great. Thanks for having me.
yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I appreciate it.